Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an interesting live. So if you have your favorite drink, popcorn, or whatever you're going to be drinking, you might want to go ahead and grab it now because we got a lot to talk about. Hey, everybody. Thank you so very much for coming to the Mad Church Disease podcast. I am so grateful that you are here. I am your humble host and servant, Marcellus, and I want to thank you guys for joining me and the one and the only cigar vlogger, Daryl, the cigar vlogger Moore, who is present with us on tonight. We are going to take about 5 minutes and just sort of kick back so that YouTube can send out the notifications to let everybody know we are live. You guys do me the awesome favor of hitting the like button, and please make sure that you do share the podcast. So I would appreciate everybody for doing that. Thank y'all so very much for your support of the podcast. And so thank y'all so very much. God bless you. Let me grease up my lips a little bit. Go get you a little bit of wine because we got something to read. And then we also are going to give you some exclusives over here. I got 2 things that I need to share with you today. I had an epiphany and I need to fire some warning shots. So you guys, make sure that you go get you something to drink, or you go get you something that you enjoy, a nice refreshing beverage. I, of course, am over here with my ice 0 calorie. I was going to go downstairs and grab me some wine, but I didn't have enough time. So we're 2 minutes in. We're going to wait about 5 minutes before we kick it off. Shout out to the 53 of you that are already online with us. You guys, please make sure that you hit the like button and share this. Boy, this is about to get real good.
Woo! I've been drinking.
And I'm going to share something with you guys that you have not heard on any other platform. And I'm going to make something make sense for you. And I want you to pay very close attention when I get to that point. Okay, cut the fluff. Sports media, thank you for coming in. I appreciate all of you. You all hit the like button as you're coming in. Darlene, thank you. April Eccles, thank you. Respective Angle. Mary, thank you so much for being here with me. Patsy, thank you so much. Sean Renee, thank you so much, who happens to be a member. Thank you so much, member. Sweet P, thank you so much, Sweet P, for coming on in here. Appreciate you as well. All of you guys, thank y'all for coming on in. We're just taking our time before we enter into this particular live because, ladies and gentlemen, Tyrone Blackburn and this TD Jakes and Duane Youngblood case has taken a very interesting turn. And we are definitely going to deal with it. And I'm going to share with you what's going to be quite problematic for them going forward. Mary, you wait till you hear the epiphany I had today. Larry's mouth is going to get him in so much trouble. It is his mouth that is going to seal this deal. Okay, y'all just make sure y'all keep in mind. We're taking our time. We're giving it some time for everybody to come on in here. Hello, his only wifey. Thank you so much for joining us. We're definitely going to get started here. We got less than a minute before we kick off. Daryl, you have any opening statements? Anything you want to say?
Y'all in trouble. In a lot of trouble.
Oh my goodness.
In jail.
Oh my goodness.
Extortion, slander, defamation, co-conspirators, receptacles. We got them.
Oh my goodness. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Ladies
12,
and gentlemen.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Showtime.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the transcripts from today's proceedings with Thomas Dexter Jakes versus Duane Youngblood and Tyrone Blackburn, who is now facing imminent sanctions coming his direction. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to suggest to you as I get ready to read through this, ladies and gentlemen, that Tyrone Blackburn is in trouble. He is in tremendous trouble with what he is communicating to the court, and he is also in trouble when I tell you guys about the epiphany I had later today. Something fell on me, the anointing fell on me, and I said, Lord, I said, let me go call Daryl moderators and tell them what I just thought of. So we kind of had a little conversation, and I'm gonna share something with you all at the end of me reading these documents. Larry Reid of the Larry Reid Live Show, I really highly suggest you pay attention to my last statements that I'm going to make tonight. Not that it's going to help you any, but you know you're behind this grass, sir. And TD Jakes is the lawnmower. All right, are y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go. This is the actual transcript. All right. Transcripts of proceedings of July 24th before the United States District Court, Judge William S. Stickman. Appearances for the plaintiff, Dustin Andrew Posh or Push, Daryl M. Janey, Esquire, Devin Chawaski, Esquire. For the defendant, Tyrone Blackburn. The court reporter was there as well. Let us go ahead and proceeding. The court. We are here today on the record for the sanctions hearing pursuant to the court's order docket number 53 issued on June the 26th, 2025. Would counsel please enter their appearance? Counsel for the plaintiff, Mr. Janey. For the plaintiff, Thomas Dexter Jakes, the Janey Law Firm by Darrell Janey. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Your Honor says, good afternoon, Mr. Janey. And with the court's permission, I'd like to point out that Mr. Jakes is here in the courtroom, in the gallery, Your Honor. So TD Jakes bought his, according to Duane Youngblood, burly self right on up into the court. That's what Duane Youngblood insulted him. That's what he said.
Get ready.
Okay. So Mr. Push, Dustin Push, on behalf of the plaintiff from the law firm of Meyer, Watkins, Phillips and Push or Push, I'm joined by my colleagues, Amy McCain Roller and Casey Christian as well. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, they bought the whole posse. Gonna miss everybody. There's a Bone Thugs and Harmony situation going on up in there. Let me move on. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Devin Chawaski from McNeese, Wallace, and Newark, also for the plaintiff. The court, Mr. Blackburn, I presume. So listen, the
only black some at the table, though.
Right. So the judge just looks at Tyrone Blackburn and says, I guess you, Tyrone Blackburn, you're Mr. Blackburn, I presume. Yes, Your Honor. That's what he says. Yes, Your Honor. The court. Okay. So the Rule 11 hearing, especially one that's ordered what is that? Saponte by the court is somewhat unusual proceeding in that it's one that whereas the court is normally an umpire between the parties, the court by necessity has to take the lead in examining the evidence and creating the record. In other words, normally this would be a tennis match between the two, but now the court has to take a lead of this and examine the evidence because it has even caused the court's information into question. Oh, you done messed up.
Sua ponte is a Latin word meaning of one's own accord.
How do you pronounce the word? I want to know how to.
Sua sponte.
Sua ponte. Okay.
Sua sponte.
Okay. I want to make sure. All right. So here we go. In examining the evidence and creating the record with respect to whether there was a violation of the rule, and if there was a violation of the rule, the appropriate sanction to impose. In this case, the court issued its order on June 26, ordering Mr. Blackburn to show cause why sanctions should not be imposed as a result of his authoring and filing briefs and submissions before this court that contain what the court believed to be, and I believe has been confirmed, at least in part, by Mr. Blackburn's subsequent filings, artificially and artificial intelligence hallucinations, which amongst other things miscited case law, including this court's own previous filings in the case. In other words, you misunderstood and you miscited the stuff that even I said as the court. I issued that order, and that order required Mr. Blackburn to come to court. The order invited the plaintiff's attorneys to come to court only to the extent that they were seeking attorney's fees as a part of this proceedings. So, Mr. Blackburn, you are the subject of today's hearing. For the record, sir, are you representing yourself, or do you have counsel with you today? I'm here alone. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry. I've been drinking wine.
Okay. And then the next question that I have for you is, do you have any witnesses or documentary evidence that you intended to present to the court on today? Outside of what I provided on the docket, I don't have anything else. Unless I
ain't got shit. Other words, I ain't got shit.
Right. Unless I didn't want to give the full search history. It was a lot of cases. I just gave like a small sampling of the cases that I researched for this motion. So if the court wants, I can supplement that with an Excel spreadsheet of the cases and their relevance. I just didn't think the court won't. Are you referring to the document that you've already filed in support of your submission at the ECF number 57 and its exhibits? Yes, but there's more than that. I didn't want to inundate you with so much documents. There's more. The ninja said he didn't want to inundate the court with so much documents, but he submitted 910 pages. Oh, this is good. I actually have additional samples I can show you. My metadata from my devices to show that these were researched on the dates and time that I said that they were researched. Now, y'all remember that I said chain of custody and things of that are going to come into play. So dates and times are going to be very important. But guess what? I don't even think the judge cares about that because the judge is going to hit this fool with sanctions. Let's continue. So I have sample motions as well as additional case law and additional search history. So just so the court is aware, when I have a lot of cases, and like I said in my papers, that I represent a lot of people for free because, they just can't afford to pay. So on the day that I wrote this, I typically go to bed at like 2:00 in the morning and I wake up at 6. Oh, Your Honor, I don't get enough sleep.
I'm up 20 hours a day.
That's essentially what this ninja's saying. Okay. I'm going to stop you right there, just so that procedurally we're all on the same page as to how we'll proceed. So the judge interrupted him and said, I'm going to stop you right there. The next question I was going to ask is whether there was anything that you would like to testify to today to supplement or to elucidate any of the written filings you were already providing to me. I'll take it from what you've already begun to say that the answer to that is yes. Am I correct? Of course. Please raise your right hand to be sworn in, administration of oath. Okay. So you may proceed and offer to the court any additional testimony you would like to record, the record to reflect, and for me to consider when determining sanctions are appropriate. Now, I want to pause right here and take a personal point and privilege and tell you some of the things that he said here are going to come back to bite him in the ass. I'm just going to tell y'all that. And I'm going to tell you why that is in a little bit. In addition, when you're complete with your testimony, I intend on asking some questions, not only about anything that might come to my mind during the course of your testimony, but also about some of the submissions you've already given, specifically your declaration at ECF 57-1. Blackburn. Okay. The court, you may proceed, sir. Blackburn. Thank you. So as I was just sharing, typically my days run long because of the amount of work that I have. But for this particular motion, I think the night before I went to bed like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I woke up at 6 and I began doing the research and beginning to outline my motion to dismiss. The court interrupts again. But with this particular motion, when you refer to the motion, you're referring to the motion to dismiss that was filed on May the 5th? Blackburn. Yes, it is, Your Honor. Judge. Okay. And listen here. And I know exactly what the judge is thinking. The judge is thinking exactly what I told y'all over here on this channel. Didn't I tell y'all that May 5th and that June date was going to come back to bite him in the butt? Didn't I tell y'all that? Okay, let's keep going. Okay. The judge just said, okay. So I typically do all my research. I typically outline whatever the motion is on the document, and then I do the research for the case law, and then I put it all together. I try to find matching things that make sense. Did you hear what this fool just said there? Mm-hmm. Now, see, I'm trying not to give y'all too much extra commentary. I'll say that to the end. Let me keep reading. So I never used this Lexis AI thing before. Before I had a regular LexisNexis, which required me just, independent use search terms and all that stuff. But this thing is completely different than what I am accustomed to. And when I had the ability to upgrade, this is what was sold to me. Not upgrade, but to renew my contract. This is what was pitched to me. Now, let me ask you something. Now, if this is all new to you, how could you be possibly renewing a contract if it's brand new to you?
There you go. Plus, let me put something for y'all that don't know. LexisNexis is very expensive. It's about $600 a month for a subscription. Now, if you just had a little generic, you can't really do a lot of research. But to do the kind of research and stuff that he's been doing, $600 a month.
Now, I want to reiterate something. He just said it was all new to him, but then he just came back and said that he had to renew his contract. It can't be both. I want y'all to listen to me. Double talk is going to come into play a lot in this course and in this case, and y'all wait till y'all hear what the Lord dropped on me earlier.
Rudabaduki.
Here we go. Okay, this is what was sold to me, not an upgrade, but to renew my contract. This is what was pitched to me. I have been a Lexis rep since I was in law school back in 2010 up until, and I've been using them from then until now. Well, then how is it new to you? How is it new to you? Okay. Satan done lied to this man. So I didn't think that there was any issues with them because of how it was sold to me. But again, not making any excuses, I take full responsibility for not reviewing and really cross-checking what was spit out from the program after I had uploaded the case and I thought was relevant. I uploaded the court's opinion and I also uploaded relevant facts for this, pertaining to this case as well. What I should have done was probably just recall the first motion that I had filed and just restructured it. But I didn't do that for some, I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't do that because I thought that, got this new thing, should just use it because it was pitched to me to do. So, that's pretty much it. I just made a mistake. I really don't have any other explanation for the Watching, therefore, not the day When the judge shall make your behind pay, you will be paying. I started to say something else, but that wouldn't have been nice. But I'm just saying the court. So I appreciate that you're taking responsibility for what is acknowledging that your May 5th brief was. The May 5th brief was created by the Lexis AI tool. Mr. Blackburn, the protege. The court. What's that? Protege? It's called protege. The court. Protege? Blackburn. And before I wish I had known this, but before I agreed to upgrade my subscription, I should have done more research on it. Y'all see how he tried to confuse the judge? He said it was called Nexus, and then he changed it over to protege. The judge say, protege, what's that? What's protege?
LexisNexis is his own brand.
Right. I didn't realize it had a lot of issues. And subsequent to having these issues come out, I done a lot of research, and I've learned that there was a study done by a professor, Benjamin Perrin, who said that it's riddled with mistakes and should not be used in any form. And then on Reddit, there was a whole bunch of complaints. Sir, I read that man's professor stuff myself. I read that on the program. So you may not have even researched that yourself. You was probably watching one of our videos and just picked it up from what we said. You think you slick, sir? No, sir. No, sir. You didn't do no damn research. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Talking about some Reddit. So you mean to tell me you still gonna go to social media to get all your information? You going to Reddit, and how much information on Reddit is wrong and not correct? What the heck you going to Reddit for? It's dummy. You should have called the representative of the software and spoke to them, you nincompoop. Therefore, an F rating on there's an F rating on the Better Business Bureau, Your Honor. They got an F rating. So I just didn't know. And you know what the F rating stands for, right? Excuse me, Saints, you done fucked up. That's what
all the way up.
That's what it stands for, you fool.
You big dummy.
You dummy. Okay, moving right along. I should have done my research. I should have done a lot more diligence before accepting this, upgrading, utilizing it in any work that I do. The court. Do you have a paralegal in your? I have nothing. He interrupted.
I who have nothing.
I got nothing. Daryl Moore, in the words of Daryl Moore, you got a living room law firm.
Living room law firm.
Somebody reach over and touch your neighbor and tell your neighbor, say living room law firm. Mm-hmm.
Coffee table counselor.
Yeah, you got a coffee table counselor. Say that, Daryl Moore. Hallelujah. I'm waving my hand. I mean, the thing is, Your Honor, a lot of people that I represent can't afford to pay. They can't afford to file their own case. So what I do is I do the work for them. And if they get anything back, I just take that from my out-of-pocket expenses, such as attorney's fees, not fees, but court costs, the expenses for depositions, and even experts. And I take that back, and then I let them keep whatever they have, because a lot of them are disabled because of medical malpractice issues, or they have issues regarding loss of their employment because of age or disability. So there's a lot of different things that these individuals suffer from. So, Your Honor, I represent a lot of disabled people. That's who I represent.
Tyrone Blackburn. This is me playing the world's smallest violin for your sob story.
Daryl, he lying through his damn teeth. You in our opinion, and in my opinion, sir, you are an ambulance chaser, and you ought to knock it off. Talking about you represent disabled people. What a bunch of malarkey that this man is saying. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen.
What you got to say? He full of shit, ain't he?
If they get anything back, I just take that out of that. Here we go. And I take that back, and then I let them keep whatever they have, because a lot of them are disabled. And because of a medical malpractice, or they have issues regarding loss of their employment. So there's a lot of different things that these individuals suffer from. Let's go on. The court. I appreciate that. And in this court, we have a number of lawyers that represent public interests or pro bono cases. But the problem in this case is that Rule 11 is a non-delegable duty. Mr. Blackburn, of course, the court. I asked if you had any interns or secretaries, because by way of example, if you had an intern and you had an intern, you gave the intern the stack of facts and the briefs, and you did to the intern draft a brief for me, and then you filed a brief under your signature. Blackburn, still my responsibility.
Bingo.
The court, it's still your responsibility. And it doesn't make a difference if it's a product sold by a computer company that says they can write your briefs for you or not. It's Mr. Blackburn and Mr. Blackburn alone who is representing this to the court, that the representations are accurate and truthful. In other words, you can't use this computer as no excuse, because if you had actually done the research, all you were doing was feeding the research to the computer, and the computer was going to outline it. So you can't use no excuse, Tyrone. And the judge continues. And I guess some of the questions I have, I'm going to move in my questions from your declaration from before the court. Is that paragraph number 3, for example, of your declaration, plaintiff's counsel, which you attached as an exhibit to your declaration on June 17th of 2025, and that you immediately then began reviewing and revising the memorandum of law. And the question, are you referring to the May 5th memorandum of law?
Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. But Your Honor, before that, I had already highlighted in my reply that, I acknowledge that I acknowledge the errors, and in my affidavit, I may have outlined what was supposed to be correct citation, so that that's what I was referring to. But when I got the letter, I had spoke with my client, my former client, and I explained to him what it was. And I explained to him that I had a duty to make the corrections and correct the record, and that I was in the process of doing that. The judge. And this was after the June 17th letter? Blackburn. Yes. But before that, during the motion period, I had already highlighted everything that I needed to make corrected, and I was very slow at that, and actually making them and uploading them. And then I got this June 17th letter, and I just put my focus on that. And just to explain what was happening, because I think context is important, I have about 7 clients who filed suit against Sean Combs, and several of them were witnesses in the criminal case in the Southern District of New York. Now, you all, he's lying again. He lying again, y'all. This is all a lie right here. This is a lie. In my opinion, this is a lie.
Big lie.
This is a whole lie. So a lot of my time was spent there with the prosecutors prepping them and preparing them to testify. So that is kind of what delayed me in having some of the time immediately to submit. And then the judge stepped in. But I want to pause here and tell y'all, think, because it's important for me over here. I like to make sure I got a thinking group of people near me and not just listening to me. Okay, read off a bunch of papers. I want you to process what's being said. He's now trying to say he didn't recognize his mistakes, but in his other filing, which I'm sure the judge is thinking like you and me, on May the 5th, in that other filing, he said that he recognized that he made those mistakes way back then. But he's now changing his story now again to say he didn't recognize his mistakes until he got the June 17th letter. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. And that is very crucial to understanding this, but the judge is not buying it. Let us continue. Go ahead.
Also, he keeps trying to throw in there like my former client. The judge has not granted him the permission to no longer represent Youngblood. He is still the attorney of record until the judge rules otherwise.
Right. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The judge. I do think context is important, The judge said, okay, since you want to talk about some context, oh yeah, I think context is important. Like to hear it, here it comes. And you raise the issue of context. The question that I have though is, the accuracy of your declaration about the June 17th date, when in fact on May 27, 2025, the plaintiff's opposition had already indicated and made the accusation that the May 5th brief, it contained artificial intelligence hallucinations, misrepresentation of my own opinion. Is that right?
Uh-oh.
Yes, 100%. So I was saying, just to touch on that, I had already highlighted, found cases, and also highlighted and went through and highlighted.
Wait a minute. He in trouble. He going down. He going down.
Help me, Jesus. I'm sorry, y'all. Mama, and highlighted the sections that were inaccurate quotations. And I responded in my reply brief with that. And I was in the process of fixing that and correcting. I should have done it faster. I should have done it sooner. I should have made it a priority. But like I said before, Judge interrupts him again. You raised the issue of your reply brief. So by my review of the record in this case, the first accusation that the May 5th brief was filled with misleading and misstated or non-existent quotes from cases was made, we immediately noticed the unusual non-quotation from my own opinion. They put on the record as of May 27 the issue of artificial intelligence. I received your reply brief on June the 2nd. And the June 2nd brief, rather than striking or acknowledging the mistakes that were made on May 5th brief and withdrawing it, my characterization of the June 2nd brief is that it doubled down, and that our review of the June 2nd brief, independent of anything that we had received from them, was that the citations in that brief were as questionable, non-existent, misleading as the quotations in the first brief. In other words,
you a damn lie.
You a dang on lie. And listen here, Tyrone, it don't even matter if you try. June 27, you said on May 5th, which is what the judge is reiterating, you recognize that you had made mistakes, you nincompoop. So although your declaration at the ECF 57 paragraph 3 indicates that you were made aware of the AI issue by opposing counsel on June 17, the plain record of the case demonstrates that the accusations was made on the May 27th, and that your immediate follow-up to that on June the 2nd was double down on the AI and to accuse the other side of using AI rather than taking responsibility at that time. So in other words, you was using the AI and you blamed them for using AI when you yourself was using the AI, and you doubled down on all your AI usage. Look, Your Honor. So this how he addressed the judge. Look, Your Honor. I believe that I took responsibility in my affidavit where I acknowledged that there were errors that I filed as a part of my reply brief on the June 2nd. So I just filled my reply. I should have struck the issues, but I thought that the correct course would have been was to just make the changes the corrections in the actual documents and file them. But I didn't. I did acknowledge that they were wrong and they were inaccurate. The court. You acknowledged in your declaration? In my declaration, yes, the court. But the first opportunity you had to make that acknowledgement, Blackburn interrupted the judge. No, I think I filed a declaration in my reply as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did. The court. The reply brief as stated. No, I think I did. And then I think I may have. I know I added attachments as well. The court, beginning at page 5 of my order of June the 26th, it highlights a series, a representative series, not exclusive, but a representative series of misstatements of case law from the reply brief, which was filed on June the 2nd. One of the questions I have about that also goes to your explanation as to how the AI tool, based on your misunderstanding, works. In that you would be able to put quotes around what you believe were the paraphrases. Tell me, does Jackson versus Lehigh Valley Hospital, the case cited to me from the Third Circuit, does that exist?
Hell no.
Blackburn. No. So what happened was he
let me
literally said this
explain.
in the damn court. So what had happened was I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a moment. This ninja. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay. But TD Jakes is stupid. Okay, Larry. TD stupid. TD stupid. Okay, Larry. You stupid, Larry. And Duane Youngblood is dumb, and so is Tyrone Blackburn. But moving right along. Your Honor.
Oh, Larry and Curly.
Your Honor, what ended up happening is that there was mismatch of, so like it was take one title and like attach a citation. That's what I discovered through all of this. It's that, that's an error that occurred. So it will take one title or one section from a case. That's probably it. It will take a case title and it will attach a citation at the end. That's not accurate. That's essentially what happened.
Sold to an American. Oh,
so if you feeling just like I'm feeling with all of that mumbo jumbo stuff that he just said, this is when Lewis Black would say, "What the fuck?" Lewis Black, the comedian, was, "What the fuck is you talking about?" Okay, but anyway, and again, I have no explanation for why I did not catch that before I file. So the judge says, so it wasn't actually then merely putting quotations around the artificial intelligence summaries of cases. No. So I uploaded the actual I uploaded your order. I put a little summary of what the issues were. And then I did, hold on. I wrote out the fact section of what I want the body of the memorandum. Then I submitted that as well as a brief history of what the issues are in the case. He lying again. He was looking at notes right here. That's why he told the judge to hold on. He said, hold on, so I can read what note I was going to try to get myself out of this situation when this question came up. Then I selected the jurisdiction, and there's a function that allows you to upload documents. He didn't say none of this in his other filing. So he lying through his teeth. And that's wild. And that's what I did. I uploaded documents and different things from the court. What the question was, hold on, let me see what's going on here. Are we all right? We good? We good? Okay. I don't know what that was. Okay, and then a part of those uploads were actual cases that downloaded from the Lexis tool, as well as some of the cases that I downloaded from Westlaw. And I have the cases here. I did the research. I wasn't, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to defraud the court or anything like that. I highlighted in a lot of the documents that I selected sections that I wanted, and then I uploaded my God from Zion that into the system, and then it generated what is generated, and it was inaccurate. So wait a minute. So if you uploaded it, how did the system mess it up when you saying that you uploaded it? Daryl Moore.
Yes, sir.
How's that possible? If he's saying he did the research and he uploaded it, how'd that happen?
It didn't happen. It did.
I'm just saying.
We ain't even halfway. We ain't even halfway, and I got a headache.
We almost one more page and we halfway there. We're gonna get through it. Lord Jesus, I'm trying to read as fast as I can, y'all. And
50.
then it generated what it generated. And I am, the court just interrupts him. The judge interrupts him. The question I have, though, is even with crediting the explanation, how did that lead to the citation to a case that simply doesn't exist? Neither in name, nor in citation, nor in the quotation that is attributed to it. Blackburn, of course. So again, the issue is that I created this, it created a citation. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it just picked a name. And it picked a thing and just put it together and gave a quote. Oh man.
Again.
I
should have caught it.
You want to pick it up? Pick it up, Daryl. Pick it up.
Again, I should have caught it. I made a huge error on this, and I should have understood this program a lot better and not used it. Actually, in doing this, and it's a mistake. The court, moving on to the declaration that you submitted to this court on the 19th, just last week, you state to me that you practiced law since 2018. Oh, hell. A quote, and during that time, I have never encountered citation or quotation issues in any legal filing submitted to a court, and this is the first instance of this kind in my professional career. I've always respected the significance of Rule 11 and the duty it imposes on attorneys to assure the accuracy, factual foundation, and legal grounding of each filing. You mentioned already today the Combs case that you're a part of. Okay, Mr. Blackburn, yes. The court, in the Combs case, is it not the case that Judge Oatkin of the Southern District of New York cited you for, quote, Blackburn's filings are replete with inaccurate statements of law? Is that not the case? Well, so I'll tell you what happened there. I got to get some wine. Shit.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
He in trouble.
Oh, Lord.
Again, I think context matters. So when I filed my opposition to the defendant's motion to dismiss, Sean Combs had just been indicted. And in my opposition, I said, I think I conclude that the indictment with him being guilty, and that was Judge Oatkin, I believe, was referring to or getting upset about. But prior to that, again, I think, context really matters, especially on that case.
Now, stop. That just made absolutely no sense what he just said.
Zero.
That made no sense what he just said, y'all. But go ahead, Daryl.
There was it was extremely contentious time frame in that a lot of things happened in that case leading up to that filing, right? So all my devices were hacked.
I've been hacked, Your Honor. I've been hacked. What did I tell y'all before? Oh, the computer did it. Y'all remember when I said, oh, the computer did it? This man got a million excuses. He got a million excuses. But go ahead, Daryl.
And I had to file a report with the federal government. All of my files were wiped out in my case. My client's 7-year-old daughter was approached by some private investigators at her school and was being harassed. Hold up. How do private investigators get inside of a school to harass a 7-year-old child, a second grader?
Good question.
I had people following me, like the dude that you ran over, following my client. So there was a lot of things happening during that time that led up to that. That motion, well, me filing that position, I was extremely angry when I filed it. And I said that, he was indicted. So therefore, he should, I guess the sum of it was he was indicted. So therefore, there's no need to dismiss any of the claims, because the same claims that we had in our civil case were the claims that he was indicted on in the federal case.
Stop. All that mumbo jumbo you just heard had nothing to do with what the judge actually asked him. That again was him just running off at the mouth, and all that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, meant absolutely nothing. But go ahead and continue, Daryl.
Oh, where'd you go? The court. So Judge Coate on April 3rd, 2024, and again, I'm questioning the statement you made in paragraph 2 of your declaration, ECF 57, state that Blackburn's actions in this and prior cases indicate a repeated failure to meet his Rule 11 obligation. And in that case, Judge Coate referred you to the court's grievance committee. And again, that was on April 3rd, 2024. Is that correct? Yes, 100%.
Stop right there. So now, Ninja, you just admitted all of that stuff that you just said in that legal brief was a lie.
You have been reprimanded, and you lied under oath in this hearing.
You lied, fool. Go ahead, Daryl.
Perjury.
Dummy.
And what was as of March of this year, Judge Oken noted in his opinion that you had proceedings pending against you in that court's grievance committee. So I'll tell you this. I've never been contacted by the court's grievance committee for the Southern District of New York. And Judge Coate's opinion was based on the jurisdiction of the defense. So my client informed me that that case, that in my research showed that the defendants, which was a law firm, two-partner law firm, was domiciled in the state of New York, Manhattan. My client lives in New Jersey.
Stop, Daryl. Before you read the rest of this, he's mumble jumboing a bunch of stuff together again. What the judge asked him, all of this that he's saying right here has nothing to do with what the judge is actually saying to him. He is lying again. He wants to bring in Duane Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what the judge asked him. That's not even what the judge asked him. He's talking about people being domiciled and all this stuff. That ain't even what was asked of him. I just had to stop and say that. That just makes no sense. But go ahead. My client lives in New Jersey. Lying sack.
To quote Marcellus McMillan, monkeys have pink toe. So my contract was to bill $75,000. Add the diversity of jurisdiction. My client's assessment was wrong. I did my research on that and came out that the plaintiff, one of the defendants, lived in Manhattan. And the attorney for the defendants came on to the case files and said that, her client lives in New Jersey. Judge Coate felt that I should have listened to the attorney's statement about where her client lived. And I said, respectfully, unless she provides me with proof that her client lives there, I'm not going to just take her word for it. She provided proof to the court, and then Judge Coate went through all of my filings from 2019 in the Southern District of New York and, found issues with different things, and that's what created that opinion.
Oh, my God. Keep going. This is ridiculous.
The court, and Judge Coate made that reference to disciplinary or grievance committee, or the grievance committee, which I presume is a disciplinary committee. I've gotten a word from them.
I've not gotten a word from them.
Mm-hmm. The court. But that was made in an opinion that is of the court on April 3rd, 2024, correct? Yes.
So how do you know but not know? Talking about you haven't gotten word from them, but he just asked you the question again, and now you're answering yes to the question. Do y'all see what's going on here?
My head hurt.
In 1 minute he's lying, and then the next thing the judge asks him the question again, because he knows once the judge asks him a question again, he's nailing him down for the record, and then he has to come out and officially admit to it. That's why he's saying yes. But go ahead, Daryl, with lying ass nigga.
And you were aware of that, Blackburn? Yes. Okay. The reason I asked that was April 3rd, 2024. Your pro hoc vice application was filed before this court on January 15th of 2025. That's at ECF number 33-1. And at page 1, subsection 3, you state, I have not been the subject of any disciplinary actions, suspensions, or disbarments by any bar, court, or administrative agency. You omit Judge Coates' reference to disciplinary committee of the Southern District. Mr. Blackburn, Your Honor, I have never been. I'm letting you know. I don't know what you know how that works. But I understand from a recent situation with, I believe, Attorney Busby in the same court in the Southern District of New York, where Judge, I think it's Velez, referenced him to the Grievance Committee. Busby is the guy that was ambulance chasing, said he had 120 people or whatever come against Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
So let us continue.
Let us pray. This is amazing. Go ahead.
I think it's Velez referenced him to the Grievance Committee. They acted right away. I've never been contacted by the Grievance Committee. I've called to inquire, and they have no record of it. So again, when I wrote that, I wasn't lying. I've never, the bar, State Bar of New York, never contacted me with any kind of grievance issues. New Jersey never contacted me with any grievance issues. And no federal court has ever contacted me for any kind of grievance issues. The court, you just believe nothing came of Judge Coates' referral? Blackburn, huh? Oh shit, he caught me.
Uh-huh.
The court, your presumption was that nothing came of Judge Coates' referral? Mr. Blackburn, not that nothing came of it, to say that she referred me and then I contacted the office and there was no referral. I mean, I don't know how the process works. I'm not a judge. I don't know what the process is to refer someone to a grievance. The court, moving on to your declaration.
In other words, let's just talk about something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on
to your declaration 57-1 at paragraph 12. Damn, he lightened him up. You stated that you have voluntarily taken CLEs dealing with artificial intelligence to help understand, including number 1, an ABA class entitled, quote, AI is changing the legal profession, but not your ethical duty, unquote. What date did you take that? Blackburn, I can tell you right now, I took it on July 18th, I believe. Last week? Yes. For your honor, as I was completing this and drafting this, I was looking up the AI and all the other stuff. I started seeing CLEs popping up. So I decided to take them in order to gain better understanding and knowledge. So I took 3. 2 from the ABA and 1 from, I think it's T. I don't remember the acronym. It's TEA. Do you have certificates of completion? Oh, hell. Yes, I have them. I can upload them. Don't you think you should have brought them to court today?
Yeah.
See, I can provide them to the court. And then I also have, well, actually, I took additional CLEs with the New York State Bar Association, as well as I signed up for some for New Jersey as well. I just, I'm trying to make sure that I completely understand this thing and not make this error again.
You understand what thing? How to practice law? What thing are you referring to that you're trying to understand? Because obviously you're having an issue actually practicing law. You know.
Your ass in trouble. You know. Shit. Number 2 from the court. Complete your CLE request and program evaluation, catching up to AI ethically. How existing ethics rules apply to artificial intelligence and how to guide lawyers in avoiding the ethical pitfalls. Who sponsored that CLE? Mr. Blackburn. That was T. That's the one whose name I'm looking up. I have the certificate, though. Why didn't you bring it to court?
Right.
What date was it? The same date. I took them all. July 18th? Yes, I took them all. All 3 of them? All 3 of them. Yes. Uh-oh. So now, the judge is locking him into that date.
Right. That's key. Keep going, because I'm going to tell you why.
All 3 of them? Yes. How long were each of them? I believe, I don't want to misquote. So can I want to confirm. The court, it's only been a week. Then he cuts him off. I think like hour and a half, 2 hours. 2 hours. The one was only 2 hours, and the other 2, I believe, were an hour or an hour and a half. I don't want to misquote.
So let's stop for just a second. So you've been complaining about your caseload and taking your cases pro bono. You've been complaining to the court that you only have 24 hours in a day. So you decided that because you screwed up using AI, that you wanted to take a crash course in AI by going to continuing ed to learn AI. And you're going to take 3 continuing education classes in a day. You just admitted to the court that one of them was 2 hours and the other 2 might have been, let's say, an hour and a half apiece, right? So what we talking? 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. So you just took 5 hours out of your 24 hours that you claim you don't have enough time for sleep and doing your work, and you took a crash course in continuing education rather than going and researching and going over your work and the work that you had done to improve on the mistakes that you had made. You decided that you were going to crash course it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you all remember in the previous video I said that when we were all in school, the teacher would make us show our work? Y'all remember me telling y'all that? So what he's trying to tell this judge is, Your Honor, I went back to school so I could learn how to use the AI so I could show my work instead of actually going in and just doing the damn work. Go ahead, Daryl.
So the CLE, artificial intelligence and legal practice, same answer to that, the 18th. Blackburn, yes. The court. So today, my specific questions with respect to your declaration are finished. But as you know, we are here today on an order to show cause why you should not be sanctioned. I will allow you the benefit of having the last word on that question. And the question is, if you can give me now your summation in light of your admitted failure to review your own briefs to ensure that those briefs were citing real case law with real quotations, sometimes in real cases, why I should not issue a sanction. And if I should issue a sanction, what sanction should I issue? Well, Your Honor, like I said before, I take full ownership for what I did. I'm not, coming here to try to, make any kind of excuse. I should have been more diligent with what I filed. There's really no excuse for it. I completely understand what my Rule 11 obligations are. I was raised by Marines.
Stop. Y'all remember when I told you how you can give too much information in court and it come back to bite you in the ass? Now he's offering information that the judge did not even ask him. Who cares if you was raised by Marines? But this stuff that he's saying right now is going to seal his fate. Go ahead, Daryl.
I was raised by black folks. They ain't got nothing to do with that. So I'm not going to come in here and make an excuse for what was an error on my part, which I should have been more careful for. So if the court feels that I should be sanctioned, I'll leave it up to your honor to make that decision. I will fall on the sword and take whatever the court deems appropriate in this context.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, understood. So the other question that I had today is, there has been an indication that the plaintiffs, as part of any sanction, and the court will review the record as well as the case law, and there's a prevailing body of case law developing around this very issue before I make my determination as a threshold matter as to whether sanctions are warranted. But if sanctions are warranted, one of the things that cases have done is award attorney's fees. In this case, the attorney's fees in my mind would be the reply brief. Well, the responsive brief analyzing and responding to the May 5th brief. Are you prepared today to present evidence as to the amount of fees that your client incurred as to the analysis of the May 5th brief and the response thereto? Mr. Poosh, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Dustin Poosh, on behalf of the plaintiff, I think we will respectfully request to file evidence of the appropriate fees that we believe we should be awarded. And we do request that fees be rewarded. I think that certainly the work that went into from our perspective, and it was a relief to hear that the court was discovering exactly what we were discovering as well at the time as your order. The court generally is familiar. It's one thing when I cite somebody else's cases. The court is generally familiar with that, what I wrote myself. Absolutely, Your Honor. We expected as much. Nevertheless, of course, we've got to do our own due diligence at the same time. Certainly the opposition brief in which we had spent significant time and energy to uncover exactly what was going on. Obviously, responding to a motion to dismiss is a lot of work unto itself. But there, as my declaration states, there's the incredible amount of work that goes in. Okay, these types of misrepresentations that are in a brief, I will say by anecdotal of my own experience of this, was reading the quotation from this court's opinion, the supposed quotation, and personally feeling like I was going crazy not knowing what was going on here.
In other words, Your Honor, I was going crazy. I couldn't even figure out what the heck was going on here. He's misquoting law. He's putting cases in here that don't make any sense, Your Honor. I was going crazy. I was going nuts over here, Your Honor. I had no clue what this man was doing. Go ahead there.
Rereading your order over and over again, figuring out what was going on. And I'll leave it at that. But I do believe that we would request that the fees go beyond just the opposition brief.
Oh, Lord.
We were forced to file a motion for sure reply that not only called out the additional misrepresentations, but also had to defend my law firm and my counsel's law firms and plaintiff himself from the false accusations that we misrepresented case law. We requested consent to file that reply that was summarily denied by Mr. Blackburn, telling us specifically that we were not to get another bite at the apple in filing that reply. To me, that does not sound like he's in the midst of figuring out what's going on. In the midst of fixing it, especially on the heels of the reply that he filed. Moreover, the testimony from Mr. Blackburn in his declaration and today is that it wasn't until sanctions motion was served on him. We've never filed it. We served it on him in accordance with Rule 11, following all the rules, despite all the knowledge of what was going on. Of course, we had to do that. That's what the rules state. It was after that he's now claiming that he began the process of fixing something. Moreover, it was only after that we finally got any word whatsoever from anyone from defendant's counsel about what was going on here.
In other words, Your Honor, all these people have been missing in action. They've been MIA. We just finally got word to be able to talk to this man and find out what the heck was going on. He's been missing in action the whole time. Go ahead, Daryl.
In my practice of law, I've never seen anything like this. And I expected at various different points of this process that we would hear something, anything about this. We did not. So we would humbly submit that our clients' out-of-pocket fees for paying to uncover this and continually having a completely unnecessary fight about this and continue to have to submit briefing and filing after filing to finally get across to someone the issues here. Of course, not to this court necessarily, because you were discovering it on your own, but to counsel. I would humbly submit that our fees should be extended just beyond the opposition and go to the reply as well.
In other words, Your Honor, we don't want to just stop at the opposition. We want to go further so that we can collect some more money. Go ahead.
Say them then lied to you. They want all their money. So to answer my question though, today, this is the judge, you are going to elect to wait to see if and what, if so, sanction this court imposes before submitting a reasoned fee petition with numbers. We welcome the opportunities to submit that before. We would submit it before, but I defer to the court's guidance. The court, do you have it today? We don't have it today. We have to put it together. We could put it together pretty quickly. The court, is there a reason you don't have it today? You came in here for this hearing. You were invited to come here for this hearing to the extent that you were going to present a fee petition. Is there a reason it's not here today? Uh-oh. Mr. Pooch, I apologize, Your Honor. I may have misunderstood. My understanding was to appear whether or not we were going to request it. We have invoices, we have redacted invoices that we can present to the court very quickly, and we've prepared them. I just don't have them ready to hand to you right now, but we could provide them probably by tomorrow along with the petition, if not the end of the day today. The court, here's what we'll do. I'll give you until, today is Thursday, I'll give you 7 days. Okay. To supplement with a formal fee petition with any kind of supporting information. Mr. Blackburn, I will give you 7 days thereafter to respond. Mr. Blackburn, okay. The court, and then I'm not saying that I'm going to find that fees are, the sanctions are warranted, or if sanctions are warranted, that fees are the type, hold on, let me read that again. And I'm not saying that I'm going to find that fees are, that sanctions are warranted, or if sanctions are warranted, that fees are the type of sanctions warranted. That didn't really make sense, but I read
it did. I get what he's saying. Well, what they're trying to do is not say that sanctions are going to come so that it appears to the court that the judge has already made up his mind. So he's kind of leaving it up in the air as if, you know, sanctions may not be given, but we know what's coming. Go ahead.
Okay. But I want to have a full record before me before I ultimately make that determination. So you have 7 days, 1 week from today. Mr. Blackburn, you have a response within 7 days thereafter. And then after that, roughly 14 days from today, you will hear from this court in very short order a resolution to this issue. In other words, he's going to drop the hammer in 14 days. 13 days now, because yesterday started the 14 days. Thank you, Your Honor. Anything else, Mr. Blackburn, before we adjourn? I just want to follow up and reiterate that I had already begun outlining. As I explained to the court, I think the court asked the question regarding why I had not, I guess it was like why I had not made the changes since the opposition brief had already identified all of the issues in there. I just want to reiterate to the court the circumstances that I was involved in, plus the fact I had identified it. But again, I just don't have, scroll up, sir.
I'm sorry. It's the lies for me. I tuned out. I'm sorry.
I just don't have the ability to move as quickly as I should have moved. I would have wanted to move. Look, I appreciate that. And like I say to many people that sit in that chair in other contexts, I appreciate when somebody comes in and takes responsibility. I do. I guess what puzzles me in this case, Mr. Blackburn, I alluded to already in my order scheduling today's hearing. Is that for an attorney who takes Rule 11 and frankly his professional reputation seriously? When the other side accuses you in a brief of filing a brief replete with nonsense to the court, including completely misquoting the presiding judge's own opinion, I think that due diligence would lead most reasonable lawyers to immediately take action.
Amen.
To figure out what happened and to resolve it. Mr. Blackburn, 100%.
Now, how you gonna say 100% when you've been going months without doing that, Ninja? But go ahead, Daryl.
Doubling down.
Doubling down. What an idiot.
The court. But that's not what you did. What you did is you filed a reply brief that included more AI hallucinations that made up a case that doesn't exist from the Third Circuit. And then, as they indicate, offers a two quo q. You also defend, saying to them your brief is full of artificial intelligence. Well, we did a site check of their brief. Their sites and their quotes worked out. So
but at first you accused them of they say they was using AI. Mm-hmm. This man don't know how to lie. He's so dumb.
So I guess I appreciate, you're coming in today and falling on your sword and owning up to what you did. He said falling on your sword. I do appreciate that. My concern is, though, in real time, the initial response was not to take responsibility.
Correct.
But it was to double down and make accusations. Mm-hmm. And that's what I struggle with, is balancing when I go back into chambers, when the record is fully complete before me, and I sit down with the case law just developing in this area. What I struggle with is balancing, and this court balances all the time, multifaceted issues, balancing your acceptance of responsibility today on top of what you did in real time. And ultimately, my decision will make that balance. But I guess that's my problem, though. Is it continues today as you come in here, you're taking responsibility, but not making great explanations for what you did in the reply brief.
Mm-hmm.
Look, yes. Damn, he kind of arrogant.
He is.
So the brief, I'm trying to defend my former client's position of having the case dismissed. He's not your former client, sir. You have not been released of your duty. But in the affidavit, I explained what the issues were. But you're 100% correct. I should have immediately filed the correction then, as opposed to just focusing on the reply brief and then working on getting it done. But again, my attention was on another issue, which again is not this court's problem to deal with. The court. Well, do you apologize? 100%. Do you apologize to your opposing counsel? Yes, I apologize to them. I'm very sorry for all this confusion that I created. And for even having to come and deal with it. I should have been more careful and more clear with what I do. Honestly, there's nothing else for me today, honestly. So, I take full responsibility, and I have made a lot of changes, not only on this case and beyond this issue. The language, I do what I do. The people who I And the court stopped him. Okay, I appreciate that. Anything else before we adjourn? Shut up, nigga. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor. Part of this with regard to fee petition, the reason fee petition, there's no protective order in the case as far as submitting invoices that may have privileged information on it. In other words, Bishop Jake's address and stuff like that.
Right.
I'll sign a protective order. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. That goes without saying. Anything else? Okay, we're adjourned.
We're adjourned.
That's it. And the case
all right.
And it got the hell on at 12:13 p.m.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want to say. And I'm not going to keep you.
Vincent.
Hey, Vincent. I'm not going to keep you very long, ladies and gentlemen, because of course we've been dealing with this for quite some time.
My head hurts, Marcellus.
I know it does, because after reading that, I mean, only thing you can have is a headache.
All night while I'm trying to sleep. You know. Oh God in heaven. Glad I had wine.
All right. I'm about to hit y'all with some really good information now. Y'all need to pull up y'all chairs and pull up your thinking caps. So as I was thinking about Tyrone Blackburn and all these documents and everything that's been filed over the last several weeks and the statements that have been made in these legal filings, I had some questions and some things kind of fall on me today, and I had to call Daryl and them to kind of share with them what I thought. I need y'all to hear me well. Hear me very well. We know now that basically on what was filed, Duane Youngblood and his attorney are now stating that they never saw a $6 million letter. That's what they said. They can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a $6 million letter. The letter was put into evidence. Tyrone Blackburn is the person that put that letter into evidence. We also know that Larry Reid, the podcaster, came online and made a statement that he saw the letter before the letter was sent off to TD Jakes' camp. So as I was processing and thinking this, ladies and gentlemen, now that Duane Youngblood is saying that he did not see the letter, where would Larry Reid possibly have been able to see this letter from if he did not see this letter from Duane Youngblood or someone that works in concert with Duane Youngblood? The statement was made from Larry Reid that he saw the top of the letter. Duane Youngblood, in his recent filing, just filed with the court that he doesn't know anything about a $6 million request letter. So then, ladies and gentlemen, the question you should be asking yourself is, where did Larry see the letter, or where did it come from? Because according to Larry, he did not know Tyrone Blackburn until Tyrone Blackburn showed up on his podcast out of the blue, because nobody knows each other, to speak on Larry's podcast and to talk about those things. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that also shows to me an air of conspiracy, because if Duane Youngblood did not show Larry Reid the letter, then how in the world was Larry able to see the letter when he had no connection, or he claimed to have no connection with Tyrone Blackburn before that time? Now, I want to show you something, ladies and gentlemen, that just recently came across my desk, and I want to show you this.
Listen.
Just so that you all can clearly see, okay? Larry Reid on another podcaster's podcast came up in the chat and made certain statements in the chat. And I want to show you what he said here in this chat. If you all can see this, he comes up on the person's chat and he says, I called and asked Duane how he felt, and he said tired and he wants to end, and Tyrone was pushing it forward and fighting and doing this and that without consulting him. That is what the podcaster is now stating. Okay. Now I don't have the ability in this particular program to move this around. Let me see if I can tell you all Is it gonna let me? I don't think so. Daryl, I gotta figure out how to tell them the rest of this, because there is another little piece of this. Hold on, let me go down. So now he's stating that Duane wanted to stop everything. Duane didn't even want to continue. So how is that possible that Duane didn't want to continue? Because there were many filings that were being filed on behalf of Duane Youngblood, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't get to come back and say, oh, I didn't want none of this. I just wanted everything to stop. I have to look at my phone here for just a second, because
while he's looking at his phone, there was a statement made by Duane Youngblood where he said everything, I'm paraphrasing, Tyrone Blackburn speaks on his behalf. That includes letters to Bishop Jakes and every other filing that he made. So that is a lie. Everything that Blackburn did, he did it at the behest and on behalf of Duane Youngblood.
Okay, let me go into the other one, because I can't
keep that in mind.
Right. Let me see if I can find this on the other thing. Hold your horses, y'all.
If there's a Cooper's Hawk in your area, I strongly suggest you get a bottle of Nightjar.
Okay, let me read to you what Larry also said in there. Larry said, if I had said it emphatically, Jakes and them would have me in a lawsuit because Jakes hates me. That's what he said in the chat. He said, I said in the chat, Jakes connect. I never known for sure. The only one I know is his fixer. Is George Bloomer.
Huh?
So now Larry's starting to say that George Bloomer is TD Jakes' fixer. Okay. Now,
wow.
now this is bull job. So Larry is now stating in the chat, he says here, I never knew for sure, because now people in the chat are calling him out, because y'all remember that Larry kept saying, oh, I talked to TD Jakes' team. Somebody from the team just called me. If y'all know, and y'all been following this story, y'all know we've been hearing this for I don't know how long, right? That's what we heard. So let me go on and read the rest of this comments here. He has hated me since my commentary on him went to the corrective and critical over the last 4 years. Like, I don't know how you're going to be correcting anybody. Larry, you've never even built a cardboard box. This man done built a multi-million-dollar ministry as well as $1 billion business. So, and you over there trying to raise $500,000, lying to these folks over there. How you going to correct somebody? You're not even on the same level as him. If you want to get on Larry, if you want to get on the level of people that you're most familiar with, you need to go to Skid Row. Go to Skid Row, because those people are homeless and so are you. Go to Skid Row and talk to them people. I don't even know how you think you're going to correct TD Jakes. That's the thing about you. You do what the Bible says. You think more highly of yourself than you ought to think. If you want to go correct somebody, go correct the people at the soup kitchen. Those are the people you should be correcting. Then he puts in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, bring me in. I am telling on Jakes, George Bloomer, and the Jordans. I promise you. So listen here. So Larry puts in the chat, if you bring me in, I am telling on Jakes, George Bloomer, and the Jordans. I promise you. So now he's ready to throw Bernard Jordan under the bus. He's ready to throw Manasseh under the bus. And he's also ready to throw George Bloomer under the bus. But George Bloomer is supposed to be your friend, Larry. Supposed to be your friend. Now, wait a minute, y'all. I got some more exclusives that's going to be coming to this channel, because I wasn't going to do it, but now I'm going to do it. Oh, Larry, you think you slick.
Damn, I didn't expect to hear that.
He says, I guess somebody asked him about Ghana or somewhere. He said, I have only been over there more than America for over 16 months. You don't pay attention. Just ask the podcaster who he was on there. And then he puts a laugh out loud. It is ending. It is ending. I live around the corner. Just drag it out for about 15 minutes. So apparently, I guess he was going to go live on his platform, because now he wants to start talking all of a sudden because it is. Now, let me tell you what Larry is thinking. Larry is thinking that that Tyrone Blackburn is going to get hit with sanctions and that he is going to just be able to ride off into the proverbial sunset and no one is going to say or do anything to him. But I got news for you, Larry. You all did not dot your I's nor did you cross your T's, because I can tell you, just based on what I said, there is a train of conspiracy that one could reasonably can assume and deduce just based on what I just said. If you saw the top of the letter and you did not see the top of the letter from Duane Youngblood, sir, then who else did you see the top of the letter from? You had to see it from Tyrone Blackburn, but you claim you didn't know Tyrone Blackburn. Nice try, Larry. So they're going to yank your black behind right on back up in there, and you're going to have to deal with what I just said. You're going to have to deal with what I just said.
3 words. Amicus curiae brief. Friend of the court. And it's coming. That's where anybody can submit a brief to that judge and explain what's going on that they don't know nothing about.
Shout out to all of you. Thank y'all so very much for supporting the Mad Church Disease channel. If you would like to support any of the content creators that you will see on the screen, the Cash App information is in front of our names or faces. You all support the podcast tonight. If I could get at least 10 of you to send $10, that would be a great support. I haven't asked in the last couple of days, honestly, because we've just been so busy reading all of this stuff. And I've been too busy working.
And this stuff costs money to get.
Yes, it does. Also, I'm going to go ahead and toss this into my Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody wants these documents, you'll be able to get these documents from my Buy Me a Coffee by supporting the podcast for only $10. We'll drop these inside of the Buy Me a Coffee, and I will, we'll share the cost. Daryl and I will share the cost of that. All right. So I'm going to drop it in my Buy Me a Coffee in tonight, and you guys will be able to go over there and get these documents. Daryl, I know you're tired. I'm going to drop this link and pin it real quick. If you want to come up and ask any questions or you have something you want to say, I don't want to belabor the point any longer, ladies and gentlemen, but all I'm going to say is Larry is full of it. Larry is absolutely full of it. He is full of it, ladies and gentlemen. He's full of it. And he doesn't realize that his ram's horn is stuck in the thistles. He's thinking he's about to skirt off away, and because Duane Youngblood wants everything to stop, so him and his other attorney are going to make everything stop. That's not how this is going to work. And I'm just here to make that announcement to you, Larry. Your goose is cooked and your chicken is fried. Go.
Ongoing criminal enterprise. RICO charges. Conspiracy. You conspired, all of you, to shake down Bishop Jakes for $6 million.
And now everybody, I never saw a letter. I don't know nothing about no letter. What letter? Everything that man just said in front of this judge was replete with lies. You know.
We need to get our next thumbnail should be, hashtag,
I'm just here to tell you. Oh, and I got a humdinger of a video that's coming. So Larry, if you're gonna use that, but y'all hear what he said. Now he's trying. This is what Larry does. Larry starts sending out warning shots. Well, I'm gonna tell on everybody. George Bloomer. I'm gonna tell on the Jordans. I'm telling on everybody. Okay, well, Larry, tell on everybody, because this is supposed to be about honesty and integrity. That's what it's supposed to be about. So you still holding information? I don't believe you holding shit. You know why? Because knowing you'd have already said it. And I'm going to give you another thing. Larry. I'm going to tell you another thing. Larry, you do not have the ability to have an ounce of integrity. The link has been dropped. If you're coming up, you better move quickly. I'm going to tell you this, Larry, you are screwed. Your goose is cooked. And you running over there to that other vlogger who clearly said that he was paid to stay platform. Because I guess the insolent, resistant bitches wasn't available. Isn't that what he called them? Didn't he call them insolent, resistant bitches? I guess they weren't available.
When I read that, I almost died. Insulin resistant bitches.
You know,
he called them insulin resistant bitches.
I guess they were unavailable. They must be on somewhere, with using their oxygen tanks or they CPAP machines, because that's what the man said. Say they all got CPAP machines. But I guess
no, they're not, Miss Lex.
You need to think about that. No, they ain't ashamed. You know darn well they not ashamed.
No. People think the lies they tell them, they think it's right.
Right. They not. Mm-mm. You know that. All right, you all. And I am waiting on you. I know it's Friday, you all. And I know many of you have things that y'all need to do, but I need for y'all to support the podcast. I need at least 9 more of you to send $10, and we at least will hit the goal for today. Amen. Praise God. Can we at least hit the goal today?
That is hilarious.
Who is this? What are you talking about? No reply. Who the heck is this?
I don't see that one, but I'm laughing at what Miss Walton said. That is hilarious.
Oh, I ain't taking no. Nope. No, I ain't doing no. Right, Jesse. All right, but we all stupid, right? Y'all remember that, right? Y'all keep that in mind. The man said TD Jakes is dumb. They said we were slop bucket vloggers. You know what I'm saying?
I have endured long enough.
Yes, Lord.
This come to pass.
Yes, Lord. Go ahead, Mary.
No, I just got up here to say, I said, what in the frog horn, leg horn was going on?
Listen here, a bleed. You know when he started doing it, I kept thinking a bleed. That's all, folks. That's all I could think of.
That's all Looney Tunes.
Looney
Tunes. I said, okay, today, Junior.
Listen here, he is stuck. He know he's stuck. He told more lies in his response to this judge. The judge saw right through it. And I'm going to submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, of course, he's going to be hit with sanctions. The judge is probably not going to hit him as hard because the judge, then when they're dealing with lawyers, a lot of times they do have a lot of grace and sympathy for their own people because he's a part of the system, right? So I don't know if he's going to, I know he's going to get hit with sanctions, but he's probably not going to be hit with as much as he deserves. But then on top of that, y'all got to keep in mind, he has to pay attorney's fees from a man that he got no money from.
I'm looking at $5,000 to $10,000 in sanctions.
How do you take a case pro bono and you end up paying? Somebody answer that for me.
Because it was a conspiracy. It wasn't a real case.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of co-conspirators.
Correct. And I think with TD Jakes' team doing their due diligence, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to have to wonder if they've got enough information. I believe that they've probably already sent information over to the jail for them to preserve evidence. All of that stuff has already been done. So, Larry, why are you coming out here talking about you ready to squeal on people? Say what now? Again, why you have to tell on people to save your own hide?
You should have been done that then.
Exactly.
Because why are we just now doing it? You, as soon as they said your name 5,000 times in one page of a document, I believe, I would I'm telling all y'all on the chopping block, I ain't keeping that Nan's secret. I gotta save my own hind end.
And you know why? Because he lying. Because he just said in his reformation that him and George Bloomer were friends. So now you throwing your friend under the bus? I guess so, because you threw your mentor under the bus. And you even said some harsh things about him at your reformation thing. But
even said it again last night in his prophetic whatever live he did. He said it again.
Did he?
Yeah, just taking cheap shots, bringing up the whole politics thing again, and this group of prophets ain't like the other group of prophets, and yeah.
Well, first of all, those group of prophets are multimillionaires. You're not. You're
Oh
not.
yes, oh yes, he is.
Oh no, he not. He hanging on by a
Fendi
thread.
Pradagucci popped
I,
them
I don't
tags.
care, nigga. You over there selling knives, forks, and spoons and everything that ain't nailed down, and you sitting up trying to convince somebody that you missed a. No, I don't buy it. You're not a rich bitch. You just a bitch.
Mm,
You
mm, mm,
just
mm,
a
mm,
bitch.
mm.
That's how clear I'll put that. And to all of you that love that situation so much, shame on you. And please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen.
You are correct. You are correct, April Eccles. You are correct.
Mm. Yeah, it's just it's pathetic. But yeah, Bloomer was there and Bloomer was there and he was very grateful for his presence. I'll say that much.
But Larry's full of crap, you all. Because if y'all listen, which I know some of y'all don't do, not the people over here, but the people everywhere else. Listen here, y'all. Listen to me. Bernard Jordan's been talking this Republican stuff long before it was time to vote for Donald Trump again. And Larry was sitting right there giggling and laughing, right, and talking with him the whole time. He didn't have a problem with him then. The only time that Larry had a problem with Bernard Jordan when it came time to pay up again and to give his teruma to his mentor. And he was like, I'm out of here because I can't afford to keep giving you all my money because I am a master prophet now. So everybody, I need to sit in a chair while everybody walk up now and puts money in my hand. And then I can just look at them and say, God bless you and smile because I need all the money to flow in this direction. Larry, you're full of it. But let me tell you, not too many days from hence, all of your ship is going to come tumbling down. You over there in that chat trying to send out messages like you're going to scare somebody. Ain't nobody scared of you. Then I hope all of it comes out. I hope everything come out. Go ahead and tell what Manasseh and them did. Y'all see how he threw Manasseh and the Jordans back in there? I done told y'all Manasseh and them Jordans is not innocent of this situation because there was some other stuff that transpired long before we ever saw a Duane Youngblood. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And don't act like that wasn't part of the fallout.
Don't hear her. Don't play
Now,
with me.
shofar.
You better
Do,
talk
do, do, do.
with your anatomical voice. Anatomical voice.
C sharp. It's a C sharp.
Turn, mama. Come on, mama. Get up in the camera.
I want to say shout out to all of the members of the Mad Church Disease channel and the Cigar Vloggers channel. Shout out to all of the moderators. Shout out to all of the members. Every single one of you. I feel blessed to know you. I feel blessed to be on this side of the information because the rest of them is dumb. And they can say whatever they want to say. They can do all sorts of commentary about us, call us every name, but you cannot erase the fact that the judge has said that he was making it up, and the judge has now confirmed every single thing that we told you over here on this side of the water. So Shamu and that dead looking white woman over there,
oh my God, from Zion.
you can do whatever. You can do whatever you want. You done bleach the skin so you look like you are definitely casket ready. All you need is the powder. You just need some powder put on your face.
You like White Chicks, that movie White Chicks. You like one of them from White Chicks.
I'm just saying, and I don't care what you say because it doesn't matter. It doesn't bounce off of me. I'm going down to have a wonderful, robust salad.
And I'm drinking robust wine.
I'm just saying. So you go on about your business. I tell you, it has been a distinct pleasure tonight to share this wonderful information with you all tonight. Y'all, please make sure that y'all support the Mad Church Disease channel. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank y'all so very much. And until tomorrow, we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.